Good morning. It's New Year's Eve. Okay, bye 2025. I just wanted to kind of report a few things that have been floating through with me the last few days. I know that I had mentioned recently that January 14th was sticking out to me. Over the last few days, I've had January 7 8, 7/8, 7 into 8, 7 and 8. That also feels like two important days to pay attention to. So the other thing that is coming up a lot, January feels important. January feels like something occurs that allows for and sets up big shifts, big changes. Trying to be careful how I say things a little bit because I don't have 100% clarity. I have more potential assumption around what it could be. So I'm just wanting to say that the way it's coming up for me is that January feels like setting the stage for the beginning of big shift, and then I'm drawn to April. I do want to say that March and April, I've been telling my husband it's got to be a good 2 months or so now. I know it was definitely well before Thanksgiving the first time I had mentioned to him. March/April feels like, it almost feels like it's just going to be a tornado barreling through with important changes, important matters that come up, important news, important shifts. But there's something with January and April that feels very, very pertinent for me. A tie between those two in some way with the potential shifts and changes that are coming. I also want to say, I had completely forgotten, but I looked at my journal app and I saw that I had notes from December 18th. I had a meditation. And whether this is related or not, I'm just putting it out there because I forgot to say anything about it before. Just so I'm saying, don't know that there's any connection to anything. Don't have clarity, I'll say, that there's a specific connection to this, from this to what I have just told you in this video. So, in that meditation, I received the words, "There will be proceedings." This very much felt like, even after our current circumstances are no longer our current circumstances here in the US, even after that has happened and a certain individual is no longer in the seat where he currently is, and honestly, even after he has left the earthly plane potentially, what it came in was looking similar to what it would look like for congressional hearings or something, where all of the everything, the contest issues, the epi issues, the financial issues, the everything, stuff that we maybe aren't even fully aware of yet, will be presented to the public on full display. I also received the words, and before I say this, I want to give the one caveat that the words that came in, they came in and hit really quickly. It was like, there will be proceedings, and then this next phrase came, but it came with the immediate, simultaneous understanding that this may not have even been the best word, because the word has a connotation to it as if it's not what's meant to be, or that it's not fully truthful. But it was kind of like, this is the best description you can get to let the public know what really has gone on for decades behind closed doors, and in certain circles. And that phrase was tarnish his name. So not tarnish in terms of dragging somebody through the mud for falsehoods or something, but to make sure it is known. His name will, historically speaking, always be synonymous with all of these things that will be presented in these proceedings. all of the things that many of us intuitively have felt for a long time, or that we can and have clearly seen as truth, show the actual evidence for it to be truth. So I wanted to mention that as well. 2025 has been a shit show. We are absolutely in the death rattle. How it feels to me, in the very best way I can try to put timing on all of this, with no context, and knowing that timing can stretch out and be different overall. It will come to fruition, but is this the actual timing remains to be seen, because there's no timing in the spirit world. So sometimes we are making our best interpretations of how the energy feels or what we're shown. It feels to me like 2026, we are going to go from 47 to a very short term 48 to what I received very early this year as panel of advisors. I have seen other people call it a council. I have seen other people very recently call it a caretaker government. That will be like an in-between stage. I've talked about my phase theories before. All of that's going to shift. It feels to me through 2026, like all three of those, okay? It feels to me as though 2027 and 2028 are going to start to form and formulate what our future will look like. Through 2028, we will start to see how that is looking and what we can expect out of it. You know that paper that holds all of our important laws for our land that has been around for, the 250 years? That may very, very much change as well, because it may have to, because what our structure will look like by the time all of this is said and done is not going to be the same structure we've had all of these years. We are living through the times that our children and grandchildren will not even understand where we came from and how we did all of this. And so then it feels to me as though the early 2030s will be like fully embedded in that new structure. So 27 and 28 are going to be, again, loosely timing wise here, it feels as though that's the time frame where we're going to be like, oh, that's where we're headed. That's what the future holds. That's what we're going to look like. And by the early 2030s, we're kind of like entrenched in it as the new. That doesn't mean that we won't continue to shift and change things as necessary. I also want to clock it that I've been saying pretty much this whole year that, at least in inner circles, that I do very strongly feel universal health care of some level will be imposed to me. It feels like we're in the 5-ish year range. It feels like there's going to be something that moves us in that direction before that time, but 5-ish years, give or take, feels... there was one point where I tried to say, like, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years, and immediately stopped in my tracks and was like, no, not 10, 5, like at most. It feels that way. So we'll see. I hope you're all going to be very safe and have a lovely, wonderful New Year's surrounded by the people that you choose as your chosen family and that you choose to have in your life. And we're gonna wash all of this off and start anew tomorrow. Stay grounded. Find your gratitude. And 26 is gonna be... We thought this year was a roller coaster, and 26 is going to be actually the top of the hill with some loop-de-loops. But we are... Try to look at it as excited that we get to live through the times where everything changed, because we're about there. Take care.